Cool. All right. Well, hey all. I'm Sarah Proctor. I'm a software developer at Notch 8, and I co-facilitate the documentation interest group along with Morgan Kean from Oregon State. And we are here to share just a brief reminder of what we do and how you can find us. So the Doc IG group meets for 30 minutes on the third Tuesday of the month. Anyone's welcome to join. You can always add topics to the meeting agenda in advance, or you can just show up with questions. Some of our most fun meetings have been when someone just rolls in with a random topic and we just end up in a cool, like in-depth discussion. So we're here for it all. Our meeting notes and resources are in Confluence under the interest group and working group hub. The documentation group page is linked here with the QR code. I think Morgan's going to add it to chat as well. You can also add the meeting to your calendar from this page if you maybe want to join us. Our next meeting is next Tuesday, May 19th. And the documentation group gets the pleasure of interacting with all different areas of the community. Our role is to facilitate the ability for all of you lovely people to be able to create documentation. So the goal of this group is to remove blockers like, where should I put this info? Or, hey, I wrote some content and would like feedback. And we also organize the backlog of documentation requests. So if somebody comes in with the time and inclination, we can offer a lot of options of documentation that needs to be written. All of the open requests are in our GitHub board. And Morgan's done a really wonderful job of making sure that the tickets are labeled as like particularly reflecting what kind of experience is needed, like dev versus repository manager. So they're super easy to pick up. The doc tickets can also be connected to the Hyrax or Haiku repo, which enables documentation tickets to be visible alongside development tasks. So that way, if there's a need for it, they can be tagged for version releases or development roadmaps. And if you want to check out the GitHub board, it is linked in the Confluence page. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Morgan.
Yeah, and so just to kind of highlight what's coming up next, there will be a community documentation sprint coming up later this month, and I think those dates are still being finalized, so we'll check with Heather about that and we'll post that in Slack. But that will be a great way for anyone to get involved if you'd like to check out the kinds of tickets that currently exist for issues that people have identified that there's room for documentation work on, or if you have an idea about documentation gap that you'd like to create an issue for, or feel free to just ping us, describe the gap, and we'll create an issue. So that, I believe, is coming up later this month. And then also we have our next regular meeting coming up next week, May 19th, if you'd like to join for that. And as Sarah was mentioning, our meetings are pretty quick. We just run half-hour meetings. Anyone's welcome to join with a question or to discuss documentation challenges that you might have encountered, or really anything. Those have been super helpful for just kind of bringing different areas together and making connections. And if we don't have that, then we go through the board, we organize tickets and get things ready to be worked. And as well as checking to see if there are any blockers or anything like that. And next slide. And just also want to encourage anybody, feel free to reach out at any time. We're in the documentation channel in Slack. And Sarah and I we are on a 2-year term as co-facilitators. So we're leading the group through next summer, which is summer of 2027. So I want to put that just on people's radar well in advance in case there's others who might be interested in facilitating the group. Who would really encourage you. It's been a great experience. It's also something to highlight, kind of happened by accident when Sarah and I started. That was a developer and metadata person, kind of more of a repository perspective working together. But that has been a super part of the documentation interest group so far. So that's something we'd really encourage too for thinking about going forward. And that's it for us. Feel free to reach out.